We're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Huge Pop with Donnie DaSilva and Jimmy Korderas, and it's time right now for the big hello. And this week's guest has been on Huge Pop before, most recently in January of this year. And when he was on at that time, I did the whole big long intro where I ran down his entire career resume. So you know what? I ain't going to do it again. What I will do is focus on what he's been up to since we last spoke with him on air. In February of this year, he identified the area code that John Cena's bald spot resides in before kicking his face off in the Elimination Chamber.
He fixed it.
He pinned Randy Orton at the O2 and did an impression of Jacob Fatu that made Jay Farrow jealous. Most men would be out of action for a year if they took glass on the eye. Not this man. He brushed it off and decided he was going to put on an eye patch and look like a badass James Bond villain. He had a hellacious cage match with Timu Undertaker, and he attended the wedding of our friend Jinder Mahal, becoming the only Scottish man in history to look cooler than the other side of the pillow while wearing a turban. He formed an unlikely alliance with fellow internet troll Logan Paul, got into a fight on the set of Jimmy Kimmel, and kicked a Grammy Award-winning recording artist in the face about a dozen times. He laughed hysterically after the main event, night one of SummerSlam, and I imagine he listened to Burn It Down in the car as he left the building. He's not above posting memes of your favorite superstars embracing like they just got caught at the Coldplay concert. And I can't confirm this rumor, but I was told President Trump reinstated Twitter just to ensure that this man could post his promos. Recently, he identified that 85% of the guys in the locker room should be serving him fast food and not be in his ring. And one thing you'll never see on WWE Unreal is this man politicking. He is wrestling's favorite cat dad, and he is the WWE superstar that creates the most online engagement aside from Rhea's booty. He's here to promote that our listeners in La Belle Provence can see him at SmackDown in Montreal this week, and Monday Night Raw will be in Quebec City on August 11th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.ca. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been to the top, but he could still go higher. If wrestlers were TV shows, this man be The Wire. Jelly Roll was saying, "Somebody save me. I need a ceasefire." Now give it up for the Scottish Psychopath, Mr. Drew McIntyre.
Wow. That deserves a little clap. What an intro. What an intro. Forgot half of that stuff as well. Things move so fast in our world, as we know, that you forget a lot of it. It's been a year thus far.
Yeah, one thing we haven't forgotten, though, Drew, recently you had a little issue getting back into the United States. Now with SmackDown and Raw coming to Canada, is there going to be an issue getting into Canada now?
No, Canada loves me.
Oh, okay.
Just wanted to more. Yeah, I blame Jelly Roll, even though I technically forgot my U.S. passport. The guy at the counter could have done me a solid and called immigration, since I'm actually a citizen of America. He was like, "But you have a British passport." I went, "Yes, but I also have a U.S. passport. I'm a dual citizen." And it became a whole thing. But I blame Jelly Roll. Logan bailed me out. We won. Everyone's happy. Punk got screwed. Karma's a biatch. Seth should rename his group. I don't even know what they call themselves, the bloody Visionaries or whatever. It's something stupid. Call themselves the Karma Police, because they got, Punk in the end. And the funny thing is, you think eventually if something happened to you significant, you learn lessons in life. Not him. He's like 50 years old, never learns a lesson. It got done to him what he did to me. And on Monday, he's attacking Seth like a big hypocrite instead of looking at himself in the mirror going, "Wow, maybe I'm the bad person. Maybe Drew felt the way I felt when I got cashed in on, except, he bashed me in the head with a briefcase and another guy cashed in, but not CM Punk. Never realizes he's the bad guy, never realizes he's the one in the wrong. And, I just sit here and laugh and go, you know what? Everyone else is catching up. Everyone else is starting to see. Everyone's realizing Drew was right. And we chastised him and we booed him. And he said he was the bad guy. We said he was the bad guy, even though he was clearly the good guy. But I don't care, because I was a winner at SummerSlam, and I'm going to go forward and get myself back on track, finally, to that WWE Championship. Keep getting taken off the freaking rails.
Yeah, speaking of getting back on track, I mean, we when we found out yesterday we were going to be talking to you today, we pulled some of our listeners and said, "What would you like to ask Drew McIntyre?" And a common recurring theme was, when is he going to be back in the main event picture, and when is he going after the WWE title? And someone actually made a comment to me, Drew, where they said, "What's going on? Why is he in all these side quests? Is he now the unchosen one?" And I'm looking at it like, there's a big white meat baby face holding the big belt on your show. I think the stars have aligned for you.
I mean, obviously watch the Unreal show. I don't book the show, brother, but I control the controllable, and everything that comes my way, I do my absolute best with it. And I believe, I've been given some quality stuff, and turned it into even better. Working with the amazing creative team we have, obviously Hunter leading the charge, and there's nothing I've had that I thought, oh my goodness, this is terrible. This is going to screw things up. Everything is logical, makes sense, and I'm excited to see where we keep taking it. Keep McIntyre. I just keep going for that title, and then I keep getting taken right off here and off here and off here. All I want is my precious to get that title run in front of live fans, back on SmackDown, where it's a WWE Championship, the title I held during the pandemic the entire time, the title I won. The guy that's got it's the one I want to beat for it, Cody Rhodes, 20-year relationship with him and I, former tag team champions as kids, former chosen ones, I guess, for the future, unchosen ones, had to choose ourselves, but different destinations we're at right now, where I open my eyes to the truth about so many things, and he's so desperate to be liked, so desperate for attention. I want to be the one to take the title off him and teach him the hard way, the reality of the wrestling world, the reality of the world, because he's still in the mindset I was in 2020. So I'm excited to possibly get my hands on him. Will somebody get in my business, get in my way before then? That keeps happening again and again and again. I don't know, but I have someone watching my back for the first time ever. Maybe I needed someone all along. Didn't realize it'd be Logan Paul, but I thought we were highly successful. Got great chemistry, and it felt like, I don't know, a 2025 version of Nash and Shawn Michaels or something. So I'm excited to see what the future holds with us as well.
I like that comparison. And since you brought him up, I know we want to talk about you, but also you brought up Logan Paul. And we've talked about on our show how with someone with so little in-ring time, I mean, like you can train in a ring and so forth, but to get in front of a crowd and actually perform in front of a crowd and be as aware as he is to the business and how to generate that response you want to generate. How do you feel about it? Because I know some people have this misconception that someone coming from the quote unquote outside, people get hot about.
Not me. If you bring eyeballs and you actually care about the product and you're willing to work hard, then it's all good in my book. Like a Bad Bunny, for example. Even Jello, he worked his arse off, literally lost over 200 pounds, brought some different eyeballs. I mean, should have picked somebody else other than me to have a match with. He failed epically in front of the entire world, but he tried really hard. He brought some eyeballs, so I'm happy with that. But somebody like Logan, he's a super athlete. He has a respect and passion for WWE, but he knows exactly who he is. Like you mentioned, that's a difference right there. We have so many superstars, and it sucks because it took me a long time to think I'd found myself and know who I was. Then I'd realize, no, I hadn't fully let go yet. I still was holding back. I was still holding back. And it wasn't until the past couple of years, I feel like I fully let go, where I've got the mindset of, I care more than anybody, but I don't care at the same time. It's a dangerous combination. I'm willing to go all the way to the point where I'll have to be pulled back various times because I'm going to dive headfirst into things. I'm going to run past the line and have to yank me back, where I would hold back and question myself, is this too far? There's no such thing as too far now. And Logan's very much like that. He knows exactly who he is. Between the moves, the most important moments of the matches, you can see in his eyes, exactly who he is. He's so present. He knows what's going on around him. He's having the time of his life. And then the moves himself, he's such a daredevil. He's willing to do literally anything when he doesn't have to. He's got the money and the fame and the likes. He wants to be here, and he deserves to be here. And I don't consider him an outsider. He's one of our superstars now. And I guess he's my tag partner. We just need to find a freaking name for a little group now. Kind of reminds me of the vibe of like the original DX to me, like when Shawn and Hunter got together and they had that mentality of they'll just say and do outrageous things because that's who they were. Logan was doing it over here and I was doing it over here, and mostly interviews like this, saying outrageous things, and also on TV, but it's not outrageous, it's just how I feel. And he put us together and it's like, okay, well, this could have some dangerous vibes for the management. And the funny thing is, there'll be Hunter going, okay, I know I used to do that, but you can't do that.
Yeah, I'm really hoping it's not a one-off, and the thing with you and Logan does continue. Maybe not as a tag team, but as just guys who are aligned and watching each other's backs and promos together, I think, are just entertaining as all hell. Over the years, Drew, we've spoken to people who have been in the situation that you were recently in at SummerSlam, where they are the one that's been tapped on the shoulder to work with the celebrity from the outside. The majority of people I've spoken to find that to be a compliment. Like, yeah, you're trusting me to take care of this guy. And plus, I'm going to get eyeballs on me when this thing goes mainstream. For you, at this stage of your career, do you take that spot as a compliment, or is it still a matter of, whatever, I don't care what spot I'm in as long as I'm on the show, or no, I'd still rather be featured in the main event?
Of course, I want to be in the main event, but that's just not going to be the case, and it gets boring if the same person's in the main event for a long period of time. The excitements and the peaks and valleys and in the chase, or things just become stale. Yeah. So it was something way outside the box for me, and I was excited about it. And the biggest thing coming out of it, aside, Jelly Roll's performance, again, he did a great job. Failed epically. I keep saying, just because I sing well in the shower, I'm not going to go on stage. Maybe think about it next time. But the biggest thing for me was, the thing with Logan and doing his podcast was the first step. We're talking for over an hour, and his co-host Mike kind of said, "Well, you guys get really good chemistry." I realized we had such a good back and forth. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I never really thought about this." Or put two and two together. He's so good in his feet ad-libbing. He doesn't need a script. Like, I don't need a script. Just give us some direction, wind us up, and we'll just go that direction. He runs his mouth. I run my mouth right back. And anything we've done on TV thus far, the majority of it has not been someone saying, "You say this." It's like, we're go. And then we just start talking crap, make it this good back and forth. I'm like, all right, wow, there's something here. Wonder how far we can take this. And he has this real heat where people genuinely don't like him. And for myself, it's always kind of mixed. I've been around for a while. They know I'm their guy. Most people realize everything I do is absolutely justified, but some other people get annoyed that I beat up their favorites, whatever. So it's a very interesting dynamic. And yeah, I'm very excited to explore it. It wouldn't have happened if this match never came around.
How can we explain the fact that Jelly Roll came in and in his first match had left jabs that looked better than a lot of the boys?
Says a lot. Like, his jabs felt and looked better than most of the guys. I said it recently. I don't know why it was so controversial, like 85%. Maybe I'm a little off. Maybe it's like 82% of the wrestling. Like, they shouldn't be WWE superstars. And, I don't just mean that you have to be big and jacked like me. It would help to look like an athlete. My God. It's like, you're in there, world wrestling entertainment. Wrestling's still in there. Athletic endeavor. At least look like an athlete. But I'm not just saying be huge and jacked. Be in shape, for God's sake. But to find something that makes you stand out, like something different, what's going to make you different from everybody else? There's a bunch of guys to me that just do the same thing and are very much of the same mold. And what's going to make you stand out from the other guy that's really good at wrestling or really good at high flying? And what if a knee injury comes and you can't do that style anymore? I mean, it's just food for thought more than anything. But also when I watch the show, I want every segment to be, something that catches your eye, because we're on Netflix now all across the world. And we're cutting these giant TV deals, including today, $1.6 billion, with ESPN for all the PLEs in America. There's so many eyeballs on us, and people have such short attention spans. Every single one of our segments have to be bangers. They have to have something to draw your eye. If you're not physically larger than life, have something that makes you watch that segment. So, and think about it from not a wrestling fan perspective. Obviously, we want to entertain our fans and our fan base, but people are tuning in for the first time. You got to grab them right away. They're changing that channel, or maybe they're tuning in to just go, I'm going to rip on the wrestling. And they're like, actually, this has got my attention. Wow, look at the size of this guy. Wow, look how athletic this person is. Or wow, look at this character. There's something so different about him or her. Just freaking think about it and stand out. And also, get in the damn gym. You got all the free time in the world. You get paid a bunch of money now. Everybody makes money now. You get no freaking excuse to sit on your couch and eat pizza.
Yeah, you said something interesting earlier, though, that it's not all about what goes, the moves and that sort of thing. You talk about what goes on between the moves. I mean, a lot of younger talent today would not understand what you mean by that. Can you kind of if you can, break it down, unless you don't want to peel the curtain back too much?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same guy in every interview I do and on TV. I'll talk about literally anything. It is, and the moves do matter. But that's a prerequisite. If you're a wrestler, you don't do the moves well, you shouldn't be a wrestler. I shouldn't have to say the moves are important, because of course the moves are important. You should be able to execute them well. I mean, like CM Punk, I don't know how Brett loves him so much. He's like the opposite of the excellence of execution. His moves execute terribly, but he believes everything he says, and people buy his crap. So good for him, I guess. But to me, as like a wrestler growing up, as a Bret Hart fan, you should be able to do the moves well. That should be a given. We shouldn't have to talk about the moves because you should just do them. What's the most important on top of that is the emotional connection. Like, how are you going to do that? How are you going to connect with the fans? And so many people worry so much about all the intricate sequences of plan, whatever they've got going on in their head. And all it takes is one split second of looking in somebody's eyes and seeing they're thinking too much or not present in that moment, and you lose them. And I've been saying this story about Undertaker. I know I picked up more steam recently. I've been saying it for years. And in fact, he mentioned it some recently. It was like, he was saying this. I was like, yeah, because it's true. It was like when, he was my mentor. I was 24 and Vince put him in charge of it. And I'd ask advice. I was like, I was talking riddles or whatever. And the big one that was stuck in my mind was stop playing the wrestler and be the wrestler. And I was like, I'm in wrestling gear. I'm in a wrestling ring. I'm doing wrestling moves. How am I not being a wrestler? I'm so confused right now. And it took years, like I told him, last week when I saw him, it just took so long for the light bulb to go off. And I wish I was on the same level of the wrestling IQ. At the time, we could talk, as peers now, but at the time, I just had no idea what he was talking about. And that's the thing. A lot of people go out there and they just play wrestler. And people watching, if they do pretty moves, they'll get this response, they'll get claps. And I really enjoy watching this guy. And they enjoy watching, or this girl, they enjoy the performance aspect, but they'll never get truly emotionally invested unless they're present, they know who they are as a character, and they're selling the story they want to sell, the emotion they want to sell, the action they want to sell during that match, during that segment, whatever direction they're going. And if you're not able to, fully embody that character and be the wrestler instead of playing the wrestler, then you're never truly going to make it to the main event scene. And if you do, because you're such a freak athlete, you're one injury away from not being able to do the stuff that got you this reaction, but not this reaction. So clapping's one thing, but making people feel with their heart and their think with their head is a whole other thing, and that's when you truly get over and make waves.
I remember Jake Roberts said it to me years ago. You do a bunch of pretty moves, it's like seeing a hot girl. It's nice till the next piece of ass walks by, but make them care and they'll remember forever.
Yeah, and he had a lot of sexual metaphors. Like I was 15, 16, he lived in the UK doing training seminars. I was like, does everything have to be sex-based? Damn it, it's disgusting. But it made sense.
He keeps it real. And what you just said speaks so much to what Jimmy and I talk about all the time when we're on our show. We're talking about Logan, for example, because fans online will be like, oh yeah, his moves are so great. He's so athletic. He has a great move set. And it's like, when we talk about a guy like Logan, what he's actually executing is like the fifth or sixth most impressive thing that we even mentioned, and I think what you just said highlights that for people listening and for young workers that are listening. I know that we're getting the Iggy that we got to take it home. So let me ask you this. WWE Unreal recently debuted. We didn't see a ton of Drew McIntyre on the first few episodes that dropped.
Weird.
Do you? I know. I was waiting for a Triple H moment where he's like, "You can't say that, Drew."
Those cameras are around. I'm generally not near them. Let me put it that way.
Being a guy who has been around the business for a very long time, and you've been there through the most. Well, I wouldn't say the most, but from when you first came in, obviously the industry was much more shielded than it is today. Is there any part of you that looks at this programming and goes, guys, maybe this is too much?
Of course, because I'm from that generation and I was brought up and trained in Britain, the very old school mentality. And, I do believe in having some air of mystery. At the same time, it's uncharted waters. Maybe people, will have a new respect for what we do, seeing just how chaotic it is, way more chaotic backstage than it is on the show. As Jimmy will tell you, just how much things can change leading up to live TV, and maybe giving people a glimpse in that will give them more appreciation. I don't know for sure. I know me personally, it was not for me right now. Maybe in the future I'll be more involved, and I just want people to know if you see me on there and I'm standing beside like Punk or whatever, so I thought Drew didn't like Punk. I thought Drew didn't like this guy. I don't. I can't stand him. I hate him. At the same time, I love my job. And it's showing you we have to work with each other. We're put in these situations that we don't create, because once again, I ain't the booker. So the booker man puts me in the situations that they want me in, and I deal with it because I like my job and I have to be professional. So if you see me on there, I'm being a professional. You go to your office or wherever you work. You don't love everybody there, do you? Or if the boss says you and you are taking care of this, you can't stand them, you do it, you get through it, and you do it to the best of your ability. So keep that in mind when you're watching the show and you see Drew McIntyre show up. There's a reason that I'm with these people and don't say stupid things. Oh, it's breaking kayfabe talking to him. Like, yeah, weird. It's a certain way we have to do our job. We have to be professional. Shut up. If you debate Drew McIntyre and you will lose. You'll all lose because everything I do is justified, explainable, and I'm the only good guy left in WWE.
At the end of the day, to me, WWE Unreal is just another platform where you've got an opportunity to confuse people on what's a shoot and what's not. And I think
I don't doubt we're going to do mad stuff and work ourselves into a shoot, but maybe it'll be entertaining for everyone. I don't know. Again, it's uncharted. I'll look from the distance, and then eventually, if I like it, maybe I'll step in there. But for now, I'm just observing and seeing how it goes, and hopefully it will give people a greater appreciation of just how much work goes into live TVs. I know actors and the likes, when they come from Hollywood, are absolutely shocked when they see we get scripts on the day we come up with, and we just go do it live, and their minds are blown. So this will give everyone a glimpse on just how chaotic it truly is back there. Harping on the point, you have to know exactly who you are, because if you're somebody back there, like a young superstar who's hoping to remember all those words, you better have a photographic memory, or you hopefully get to the point where you understand who you are, like myself, and you just go, okay, this is a general idea. This is what we want to get across. How long have I got? 5-10 minutes? Okay, bye. Hit my music. I'm get out there and I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's really easy. The light bulb is off, but I remember being, sitting there, stop playing the wrestler, be the wrestler when Undertaker was saying all that stuff. So I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. But most of them don't ask for advice. They go to Twitter and go, wait, I'm amazing. My moonsault was great, or my 450 was great, or whatever. So I don't need to ask the veterans, which I don't care. It's like, I just care if you're on my show, and I'll just go on interviews and talk about how crap some of our show is, some of our superstars are. And if they think to themselves, is he talking about me? Then the answer is yes, I'm talking about you.
Well, I, for one, and I know maybe I'm a little biased because we've known each other for a long time, can't wait for the day that you do show up on Unreal, because it will be unreal.
It will be. Me get my arse spanked by the boss.
Drew, thank you so much for joining us. When you're in Montreal for SmackDown, make sure you get yourself a good smoked meat sandwich and a good side of poutine. Make it a cheat day. It'll be well worth it. And we want to make sure everyone remembers to go to Ticketmaster.ca if you are in Quebec, Montreal for SmackDown, Quebec City for Raw. Tickets are at Ticketmaster.ca. You can still pick them up. Make sure you do so. And thank you so much for your time, as always. And hopefully we'll see you down the road real soon.
Well, do that. Appreciate you all as always. And I'll see you all on Friday on SmackDown. I look forward to the Sexy Drew chant. So it seems to be the Montreal chant every time I come out. So I look forward to that and seeing everybody in Montreal.
All right. Thanks, Drew.
Take care, lads.